So we want to do things a bit different this time around. So instead of the standard review of checking spec for spec and feature for feature and breaking it all down, for the Note 8, we want to break down 8 questions that we were constantly asked throughout since the unveiling through now this official release. In a different format, nonetheless, this is still the Galaxy Note 8 review. So question 1, is this just an S8 Plus with an S Pen? So basically, yes and no. So yes, because you have 0.01 inch difference in screen size, but less of an edge and different things, and a little bit of less of the battery, but we'll get into that later. But the Note has always been about the S Pen. S Pen brings that, the stylus and all the cool things that you can do with it. Note taking, drawing, even if you don't do any of that, you can still use it, pretty much use it as a mouse or whatever on your smartphone. And so they make sure the phone is big enough for you to use that. So it's always been a niche kind of thing. So yes and no. Second question, does the 6 gig of RAM offer a boost in performance? Throughout our time testing it, we didn't notice it being like extra lightning Barry Allen kind of fast, but I think what it will do is that down the line, maybe 6 months to a year, it'll prevent less of that boggy feeling or that boggy experience that Samsung, the UI usually offers after a while. Like it would just slow down your performance a bit, make it be a little less snappy, not that new feeling that it used to. So that's something we'll have to test out a few months down the line. Third question, are the dual cameras and live focus any good? Yes, they are pretty good. Now the question is, are you into what the dual cameras and the live focus has to offer? Because even though that's kind of on a lot of the flagships these days, it's still not for everybody. Not everybody's going to use it. I'm not really going to use it, but there are people that would love to do it. IG people, influencers. Samsung's live focus, they made sure to make it very subtle. So if you play it on the iPhone 7 Plus, it's kind of the same thing. You have the telephoto lens, you can zoom in 2x. So it's kind of like that Samsung style. Fourth question, does the smaller battery last less than on the S8 Plus? So that's kind of an interesting question because the Notes are usually the biggest batteries Samsung has to offer, but this time around things are different. So the S8 Plus has a 3500 milliamp battery and the Note 8 has a 3300 milliamp battery. So there's a 200 milliamp difference. It's a very small difference in the scheme of things. So kind of be neck and neck shave, give or take an hour or so. So it's still going to last you, 12 to 18 hours, depending on how heavy you use it. Or if you don't use it at all, it'll give you like close to 2 days. So it's a difference, but it's still good. Fifth question, can you do anything new with the S Pen? So the S Pen is, that's what makes the Note the Note. So this year they made sure to add a new feature called Live Message, which allows you to record animated GIFs of handwritten messages or drawings and then share them to your app of choice, just as long as the app is supported by it. It's kind of like something Apple would do. If you're into that, you have that. With the Note asleep, you can just pop out the S Pen, and just write notes. You can do up to 100 of those, whether it be a drawing or just a written message and all that. So you have that, and then also you have translate options. So you can set that with the S Pen menu, and then you can just hover over a word once you create the settings of what language, which you want to be the default language and what you want it to translate to. Just hover over Word, Chrome or whatever browser, and it'll automatically translate. So that's pretty cool, especially if you're in a foreign country or if you're just, trying to be productive and pick up a second language. So that's pretty cool. Sixth question, what is App Pair? So App Pair is a new addition to the Edge panels. Edge panel is not something I really use, but App Pair is something that might get a little more use if you're that type of person. So with the Note, you have the biggest screen, pretty much 6.3 inch massive, super QHD Infinity display. So it's definitely, it's big, but it's more narrow than large. This isn't the Galaxy Mega, even though it's theoretically the same size diagonally. App Pair pretty much allows you to customize 2 apps for your own multitasking. So if you always banging out emails while watching something on YouTube email. So it's kind of cool if you use it, if you use multitasking. With the Note being as big as it is definitely the phone to do it with. 7th question, how hard is it to reach the fingerprint scanner? It was a bit difficult on the S8 Plus, so it's definitely got a bit more difficult on the Note 8. And I have big hands, so I could usually reach it no problem. I usually hold the phone towards the bottom half, like towards the bottom edge, so in order to actually use that, to hold, move my hands up a little bit more just to really kind of reach it. So for most people, that's probably going to be problematic. So you have to rely on other forms of biometric security, whether it be, iris scanner and other things, or just a password or pattern. And lastly, is it worth the price? So this is, of course, the main question we've gotten all the time. So, of course, starting around $930 and going to $1,000, depending on who's your carrier, it's definitely going to be a bit of a deal breaker if you're on the fence, or if you don't want to spend that kind of money. I mean, it's a lot of money these days. So, you got this almost $1,000, you got the iPhone 10 starting at $1,000. So, it's a lot of money being shelled out. People trying to miss a month of rent just to get that new hotness. If you're into notes, and if you've been a Note fan and you like the stylus and you've gotten every previous Note, this is for you. This is, again, just, another step up iteration of the best that they've done. But if you're on the fence and you're not quite sure, you probably just want to go for the S8 Plus. You can definitely save some money, and you can still get a lot of things done and enjoy some of those features. And then after a while, some of those software, of course not S Pen software, but some of the other software things will trickle down. So maybe App Pair might trickle down a few months from now to something like that. Definitely love the Note 8. I think it's a great experience. It does what it's supposed to do. I'm usually not a Note person. I'm not a stylus person, so the Notes have never been for me. I always enjoyed it for the battery and the screen, but now we're at the point where there are other phones in the market to offer that. So it's still a niche thing. For the most part, it's not going to be for everyone, but for the Note fans, this is something you should check out. So that's it. Let us know if you like this kind of format. You want to do something? Should we do something like this again, or stick to what we usually do? Sound off below in the comments. Thanks for watching. Could have been anywhere in the world. You're here with us, and take care.